Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Queen of Self-Care, Self-Care Sunday. Hello, hello, hello. If you are going to chill with me here live, I appreciate you. And if you catch the replay, I appreciate you too. Just press play, sit back, listen while you are doing some self-care, taking a break on your lunch, right before you go to bed, whatever it is that is convenient for you, rolling in your car, maybe you are in traffic, you can definitely hit the replay button and I will be grateful to have you. Today we're talking about how to manage our stress. How to manage our stress. And we have 10 ways that I'm going to present today. Of course, there's many more, but I'm going to go ahead and do 10. How we can manage our stress. Stress is no joke. I go over this all the time. Stress is the silent killer. Stress is the reason why we have high blood pressure, why we have strokes, why we have heart disease, why we are having diabetes, why we're having mental health issues. We have to get control of our stress. All of us, including myself. And one way to do that is self-care. Getting that self-care routine in order and together, okay? Let's see here. I'm gonna wait a little second. See if we got some others to join in on this here good Sunday. And I'm gonna take my time today because today is the good old 9th of August. Next week I will not be presenting due to it's my birthday. It is the Queen's birthday and she will be having fun. So I won't be presenting. So today I'm going to take my time. I'm going to be here with y'all and really get through this. So today in the Black Girls Guide Pivot group, I definitely reached out to you all and asked about what your stress level is. What is the rate of your stress? And many of us have said that our stress is over a 5, okay? So I've seen a lot of 8s, okay? I've seen a couple of 3s in there, which is great. Not too bad, right? Not too shabby. But there was many that were 8, and that's pretty high. And I just want, hi Sheena, hello. And I just want to make sure that we have what it takes in our treasure chest to actually handle our stress, okay? Hi Sheena, hello. So Sheena, thank you for coming in and hanging out with the Queen, going over the 10 ways we can manage our stress. I was just talking about how in the group earlier I asked what if you rated your stress, what would the number be, and it was pretty high, pretty intense. Many of us are hitting 8s. A couple of us had 3s. Either way, we want to get those levels down. Okay, if we can eliminate stress as much as possible, that would be great too. I know that there's some good stress out there, but there, sometimes you got that good stress that gets us motivated and gets us going. It's that long-term, toxic, unhealthy stress that leads to unhealthy ways, especially if we don't know how to cope when we stress, okay? It's important to understand that challenges will arise, stress will arise, but do we know what to do when it happens, okay? So, the first thing I need you to understand, and I want you to understand, mind you, I have worked with, and I have also, even just today, I tagged hundreds, at least 100 people in the group and asked for their rate, okay? And no biggie, but the first thing is to understand that you need to acknowledge that you're stressed. Some of us can't do that. We can't acknowledge, we can't say that, dang it, I'm stressed. I'm stressed out and I got to do something about it. We're not aware of our stress. Okay? We don't even understand what our triggers are. So, number one, the first thing we can do to manage our stress is to acknowledge it, to be aware of it, to understand what the triggers are. Okay? I actually gave you just 3 in 1, kind of. Okay? And then when we understand what our triggers are, we can understand how we can remove those triggers or reduce those triggers. So some things you can't get away from. I understand that. You have to acknowledge that. You're not going to wholeheartedly be away from it. But can you at least reduce it? Okay? You know, there's some parts of our experience that we cannot, I'm trying to see this wrong. There's some parts of our experience that we have to go through. We got to, you know, we're dealing with it, whatever that experience is. So we can't get rid of it, but can we reduce it? Can we reduce the toxicity that may be coming from that experience or whatever? Okay. So we got to do something. We got to do something about it. What we can do is set our boundaries, okay? Set our boundaries. When we set our boundaries, we are telling those toxic things, those things that are making us stressed, to go away, okay? Whether that's at our job, whether it's at doing projects, whether that's at home, whether that's with family relationships, your interpersonal relationships, whatever, okay? If it is toxic, do your best to let it go. Okay? I would definitely believe in prayer and meditation, so definitely do those things to pray over what's stressing you out. Okay? I do believe that you can get an answer from that. I honestly do. And then self-care. Is your self-care routine in order? See, when your self-care routine is in order, then you're able to actually, when these stressors come about, you have something in place to start to reduce your stress. Let me say that again. When you have your self-care routine in order, you're able to have something in place to reduce your stress. It sucks even more when you are so stressed out and then you don't even know what to do. You don't even know how to cope in a positive way. You go to drinking, you go to lashing out, you go to other behaviors, get into rage, you get into anger, you don't communicate, you isolate, you do things that are not going to help you or make the situation healthier. You yourself just starts throwing toxicity out of there too. Okay? So this is your time to be assertive. Okay? To assert yourself, assert your opinion, assert how you're feeling, assert the things that you need to communicate in order to make your situation change and differ. Okay, so if it's stress at your job, someone's nagging you, you're having issues with certain tasks or whatever, you need to be able to assert yourself. You need to be able to communicate what is happening and what you need help with. That is another thing. Ask for help. Because if we just don't say anything, if we're not being assertive, we decide to be angry, no one knows why you're angry. No one knows why you're being defensive or being passive aggressive. And then once again, those 3 elements, those 3 communication styles definitely throw in more toxicity into the situation than helping to resolve it. So if you assert yourself and say, hey, at this time I'm having struggles with this, and this, or I need you to step back, this and this, or I need to step back on this, and this. Okay? It's helpful setting your boundaries. The other thing is, do some things that make you happy. Figure out some hobbies. Is it golf? Is it going for a run? Is it exercise? Is it crafting? Is it getting together with the girls? Whatever. Do something that makes you happy. Okay? Make room for your happiness. So sometimes we may get bogged down between work, our projects, our just life and family and this, and it's been a go, 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 and you neglected the things that made you happy. It's okay to sit back and say, I'm going to cut this out, or I'm going to do this for 30 minutes, but I'm going to make sure I do something that makes me happy for an hour. Okay? You make time for what you want to make time for, and you need to include you. And that brings me to time management. Okay? Time management is key and it's important. It's something that we all struggle with. I suggest a planner. I suggest using these darn cell phones that we got at our every hip or every second. We see our cell phone more than we see our family members. Okay? So use it. Okay? At least make it worth the while. Put the things in the calendar. A calendar is an automatic app that's on any phone. I don't care if it's Samsung, iPhone, your flip phone. You got a calendar. Put your schedule in your phone. Put your schedule on paper. Get a planner. And I should have brought my planner out so that you guys can see. But if you guys ever follow me, which you should, on Instagram, the Queen_self-care. I post when I update my planner. Okay, so yay! Thank you, Bean. Appreciate it. Yes. So I post my planner and what my weeks look like and how I kind of do things for me, do things for my family, do a routine for my baby, me and husband time. So it's just a few ideas and suggestions. You can roll with it however you see fit. The next thing I want to get to is working on eating properly, eating the best that you can, putting the good stuff in your body. A lot of us drive. We're on the road, especially if we're living in California. That's my experience. But New York, and some of these other high traffic cities, states, and busy places, okay, even, things are shut down, or a lot of things are shut down, but it still seems very busy, okay? So especially if we're driving for work, and many of us will drive wherever for work because we need a job, okay? So I totally get that, but you have to find your self-care routine. Hey Jamala, hello. You have to find your self-care routine even in your car. Okay, pack your snacks. Okay, so you don't have to get off at every McDonald's. Okay, pack your snacks. Get your music tunes or your favorite podcast in order. Or if you got a good buddy, like, I love talking to my girls on the phone when I'm going to work, okay? It is me and my girlfriend time, okay? Especially when I know that I'm going to be on the road, so when I get home, I don't have time to just be playing around, okay? I got other stuff to do, so it's my time to hang out with my friends. So, hello. Hi, Dr. Jocelyn. Okay, so if you are driving, please make sure you have a self-care routine for the car. Your music, your podcast, pillow for your back or something comfortable for even your legs, comfortable shoes, snacks, okay? Basically being prepared. Lots of water. Making sure you're prepared for your drive and that you can have as smooth of a drive as possible, okay, and safely. And regardless if you're driving or not, I want us all to really I don't even really like talking in big spaces about the COVID thing, because everyone has their own thoughts about it. But let me tell you this. What I will say is this. This is definitely the time that we need to get healthy, where we need to put good stuff in our body, where we need to be worried about boosting our immune system. So please, get your veggies, get your fruits, get your proteins, less of, these, if meats like pork. You want to slim down. I don't have any issues with people eating pork or whatever, but please slim down on it. We all know that it's not the bestest for us. It's like red meat isn't the bestest for us, okay? So if we can just slide it down a little bit and uptake our veggies, uptake our fruits, uptake the good stuff, research it yourself. That's something that I am working on with my girlfriends, and we are constantly trying to make sure that we are being examples to each other on cooking at home, eating good food, getting up our vegetables, getting up those fruits. I'm a red meat eater. You can't tell me nothing about a ribeye steak, but I have to be careful. I have to, because high blood pressure runs in my family. Due to my pregnancy, I have high blood pressure, so I cannot fool around. And I want everyone, regardless of any politics, whatever, about this COVID-19, I will say we should be doing this, taking care of our health. And that includes what we consume in our bodies, our foods, okay? Get moving, exercise. Oh, I had me a yoga session this morning, and it was great. Even if you do a stretch before bed, stretch in the morning to greet the sun, whatever, get moving. 30 minutes, all right? Going for a walk just to see what's new in the neighborhood. Put that mask on and see what's going on. What's going on in the neighborhood? Go for a walk, okay? And the other thing that I think we all need to work on is learning how to respond when we're stressed, okay? Because the body keeps score. I don't know if I mentioned that here in this group before. It's a great book. Please go catch it and read it. Read it twice if you can. But that book will tell you about how our different traumatic experiences, our stressors. Absolutely, Jamala, no sugar. Put that sugar down as much as possible. As much as possible. I know it's one of the hardest things to do. So especially like my generation, we're raised up on that sugar, okay? But if we can, bring it down, all right? So I was saying, our bodies remembers or holds on to the scars you can't see, and that's our trauma, that's our chronic stress, okay? So we need to learn how to respond to that. We need to learn what works best for us, because being passive aggressive, being angry, being defensive all the time is just throwing more flame to the fire, okay? So you need to learn your communication style. You need to learn what is best for you. Sometimes a withdrawal or an isolation of just getting your thoughts together and getting your energy together is what is needed. It's the isolation where it's not healthy. That's when we gotta work on that. But I really want you to think about positive ways that you can respond to your different situations without having to throw the match out there and saying forget it, or feeling like you got to fight through, or being sneaky and backstabby, or some of those things come out in our stress. And we need to be aware. Okay, remember I said in the beginning, you need to acknowledge when you're stressed, and you need to be aware of it. And you also need to be aware of what comes out from you when you are stressed. Okay, now those things are fine, but you need to learn how to control it if you want to have positive relationships. Okay, also, I want you guys to upgrade your positive talk to yourself. I want you should be, I don't play, okay? I am the queen of self-care, and you should be talking about the queen that you are in every space that you are in, whether that is at your job, whether that is at home, whether that is with your family, whether that's with your friends, whatever space you are in. I want you to talk positively of yourself, okay? It's so easy for us to criticize every nick and hair and hanny, okay? My eyebrows are bushy, my this, my that. I want you to talk positive. I want you to embrace who you are. I want you to embrace the beautiful woman that you are. We are all unique, and we all come with our different stories, our different experiences, and that is great. Okay, and we should not put ourselves down in order to make everybody else feel good. Okay, so positive talk. So if I'm not gonna talk to myself positively, how should anybody else? If I'm sitting up here and be like, oh, stupid, why did I should have known, or I always mess that up, or dang, whatever. Oh, if my eyebrows wasn't, or if my this, or if my lips, or my hair, no, cut that out. I need you to reframe that. I need you to, yes, use the I am affirmations daily, okay? I am, on a spiritual tip, if you guys don't mind, the great I am, God, this is in the Bible, okay? There's a reason why. And it's such a powerful statement. And instantly, it's a booster. I can't lie. I go, I am beautiful. I see my high cheekbones. I see my little lips going. I feel good about myself, okay? So, positive talk. And then sleep and rest. Some of us want to do this whole grind thing, this whole grind culture. And I don't ever say cancel anything, but cancel that. Cancel that. Yes, work hard. Yes, do what you need to do to provide and be successful as you want to be successful. But you better get your rest. You better get your sleep. Point blank. Okay? We're talking about your mental health. Okay? All these people hyped up on caffeine, hyped up on sugar, hyped up on no sleep. Okay? They're not able to recover, so their next day is not doing well. Okay, they're grumpy, they're irritated, they're gonna take stuff out on you because they haven't recovered for themselves. Don't drive yourself in the ground. Absolutely do not drive yourself in the ground. And that is the fastest way to burn. Sleep is such an important part of your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. It's not even a game. And this is why at the end of the month, I'm doing a whole live on just sleep, okay? And the routine of sleep and recovery, because I feel like it's so important, and it's something that we don't talk about anymore because we are so like, everybody's got to be on the grind. We got to grind it out. Oh no, don't recover, don't sleep, don't nothing. We got to grind this out. Okay, I understand there's certain times and certain spaces where you got to have a little push. But I agree exactly with what Sheena just said. Don't crash and burn. Don't drive yourself to the ground. Let's see. I refuse to do more than I can anymore. I can do anything, but I won't do everything. Perfectly put. Absolutely. Because you can't do everything. You can't do everything. You're going to pretend that you jack of all trades but master of none. You go right ahead. Go right on ahead. But your heart, your mental health, your organs, your body, your physical, it keeps score. It's gonna remember that. It's gonna remember that it didn't recover. It's gonna feel that. You're gonna feel that. And there is a crash and there is a burn experience. Okay? So take your rest, take your sleep seriously. There are days where you just don't want to even get out of the bed. There are days you don't even you just want to stay on the couch. You just want to watch your favorite TV show. Right now I'm watching Moesha. I don't know about y'all. Do that. Do that. And if you feel like doing a little something, then do a little something. But do not allow your recovery to go by the wayside. You will regret it. Okay? So these are several ways that you can manage your stress. And I really want you guys to take this seriously, because we all know that stress leads to death. I'm just going to keep it real with you. It leads to illness and it leads to death. You can look it up yourself. 44% of us have hypertension due to stress from work, due to stress of not having enough resources, due to stress of family, due to stress of success, whatever. Okay? So, transitions in life, and sometimes we think we got it all together, and then we transition, we're not sure. Okay, the uncertainty. So this is why self-care is so important. These are coping skills. These are gems that are going to help comfort us in a transition. Okay, because that's going to naturally happen. Been there, done that, lost myself in some of that foolishness. Absolutely, right here. Okay, I've seen it. And I've been through it. So this is not just coming from a textbook. I don't just sit on a high mountain and just learn from what I read. I have experiences myself. And this is why I do what I do. This is why I chose to start the Queen of Self-Care, to build community around self-care for Black women. Because we lack self-care. We are the first to put self-care aside to make sure that everybody else and everything else is in place and in order and intact. And all the while, we done lost ourselves. All the while, we have lost ourselves. Okay? And this is also the other reason why I started the Queen of Self-Care, is because let them continue to sell you that self-care is getting your nails and your hair done. Go ahead. You keep consuming that. Go right on ahead. It is not true. Yes, some of that is a part of that is very small. Self-care is about making the big decisions in our lives that will help us to grow mentally, physically, spiritually, to survive here while we are here. This is a survival thing. So you keep thinking that going to get your nails done or going on a trip every week is going to solve your problems. No, you have to dig deeper. And this is why I do what I do. And I want you to understand that this is a safe place. You are more than welcome to talk to me. I have a mental health background. You can reach me at queenofselfcare.com, my website, or Gmail, thequeenofselfcare@gmail.com. Hit me in my DMs on Instagram, thequeen_selfcare, or you have me right here every Sunday. This is the place I come every Sunday to check in with you all, to go live, to give you guys something, a piece of me, a piece of what I'm learning, what I have learned. and hope to bestow upon you and to build community. So you got me. Please make sure you reach out. I have lots of different tools, and do not neglect your self-care. Do not neglect these strategies to keeping your stress down, okay? Building up your routine, because our stress levels at an 8 is very high. And if that is chronically happening, we need to figure some other things out. And this is going to lead me to say one more thing. Sis, please get a therapist. And right now, you don't even got to go in for the most part, okay? I know people are all over the country here, but for the most part, you can have a telephone conference. Sis, please get a therapist to talk about the deeper issues, the deeper traumas, the deeper experiences that have troubled you or are still troubling you, okay? Thank you, Dr. Jocelyn. Alan Thomas, I appreciate it. The lip bar. All right, my sisters. I think I spent some time. I appreciate it. It's getting dark over here. This is my sanctuary space, my little balcony, and I enjoy it and I love it. And I'm just glad that you guys had time for me today. I will check in with you, not next week. It's the Queen's birthday. She ain't gonna be here. But the following week, all right? The following week. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Please do one thing that will help get your stress down. Just one thing. One thing. All right. Meet me in the calm room.